Hey guys, Alex975 here today, bringing back another video. In today's video, I want to discuss why DC is so inconsistent. Now, this won't be just the DCEU, it will be all of DC's products since Man of Steel. I will actually go a bit into depth about The Dark Knight as well though, but I'll mainly be focusing on every 2010s and 2020s movies that DC have made. Now, I don't think it comes to any shock that the DCEU was a flop, and I think everyone knows that at this point. Although it had some successful in the box office wise movies, such as Aquaman, which just came out at a random time that kind of just fit where everyone was willing to go to the cinema, and it was their most successful movie, and I think it made over $1 billion, and it was their only movie in the DCEU to make over $1 billion. But there was a couple other successes like Wonder Woman, but these all weren't like the DC way, as in they were kind of lighthearted and similar to Marvel, and actually weren't their best movies. Their best ones were in the past, unfortunately. Although Man of Steel was quite good, it was decent, and that's what people say. I think it was good. I know that doesn't sound like a big difference, but I'd say most people rate it a 5 out of 10. I would rate it around a 6 or a 7 out of 10. It's a good movie, it's a fun movie, and I like it. And yeah, you could see the potential in the DCU, and obviously now with James Gunn taking over, it looks more and more like they're going to do well. Now, I will probably in the far future, I wouldn't say in the near future because I probably won't make a video on it for a while, but I would like to make a video on why James Gunn is so successful, because he made all the Guardians movies, which were all successes, but now he's made Peacemaker, which is brilliant and I highly recommend, and he made The Suicide Squad 2, which is also very good. Now, unfortunately, The Suicide Squad 2 did fail box office wise, but that is mainly to do with COVID, and it's also because of a lack of good advertising. Like, the title was The Suicide Squad, but it recognized that the first Suicide Squad, it recognized that franchise by making references and having some previous characters in it, which I highly respect, because even if the movie's a flop, it doesn't mean you have to not recognize it, because just to make the movie franchise feel more conjoined. But yeah, James Gunn, he will probably make the DC universe a lot better. Now, I will say his titling is very bad as well, because the new DC universe is called DCU. The old DC universe was called DCEU. He's also having trouble showing if it's a full reboot or if it's just a soft reboot. As in, we don't know if Jason Momoa and Gal Gadot are going to be leaving their roles as Wonder Woman and Aquaman, and we don't know if Ezra Miller is still going to be Flash, but I don't think there's any chance he can. And in the Flash, they didn't outright get rid of him. They just had a cliffhanger, which honestly I didn't like. But yeah, the DC universe, in general, DC is just so inconsistent, and that's what I wanted to talk about in today's video. Now, it's going to be a short video, but it's really weird if you think about it, that DC made movies like Joker and Batman at the same time they made movies like Batman vs Superman and Wonder Woman 1984, movies like that, and it's, I don't know, now Joker and Batman are probably the only ones, maybe the Suicide Squad as well, but I'll probably be using for the thumbnail this video the Batman, because that's a perfect example. It's weird because I feel like it might have something to do with their universe thing, copying Marvel too much. DC are trying to do what Marvel did, and now we're seeing how it's suffering for Marvel, that Marvel have to now make a conjoined universe, and they're trying to do that with the Kang Dynasty, but it's not pulling off as great as the Infinity Saga. But DC was trying the same thing, and it wasn't working smoothly. They rushed it as well. The Justice League came out after 2 movies, and 2 of the movies were Man of Steel and then Batman v Superman. They didn't even make a Batman movie, and I know they skipped that over, and it was probably the right decision, but the fact that they made another Superman movie instead of making they made Justice League and then they made Wonder Woman. At least I think that's how it worked. Maybe they made Wonder Woman then Justice League, but whatever it is, they didn't make a Cyborg movie, a Flash movie, and I'm pretty sure a Wonder Woman movie and an Aquaman movie. The Aquaman movie definitely came out after Justice League. But yeah, DC, it felt like they weren't doing what they're known to be good at. And what they're known to be good at is basically making dark superhero movies. Like Batman, like Joker, these are all really good movies that don't have to use comedy, because this is a thing that it feels very forced in the DC universe, whereas it feels natural in Marvel. The characters like Batman, Ben Affleck's Batman making jokes and all, didn't feel very natural, and the jokes don't feel right for DC. It feels like they should take themselves a bit more seriously for a bit more of an older audience. I'm not saying it's restricted to adults, but it should be for maybe 13 and over. Not it has to, but that's what the audiences would enjoy. And DC could get a much better market with that, because now that Marvel are suffering, this would be the perfect time for DC. And if DC had took their time, the most frustrating bit is if they took their time with the DCEU and made all their introduction movies and took their time, they would be lavishing right now. They would literally be getting loads of successful movies, because Marvel are suffering right now. And I said it in my Marvel video that there's a gap in the void that Marvel left that a movie franchise has to fill in, and Amazon is kind of doing that, but Amazon can't produce so many superhero products. But DC could have done that. It was basically either DC or Marvel, and because Marvel's failing, I knew there would be a point where Marvel would start failing, and it has happened now, and DC should have been taking over at this point. But because DC are still in their introduction phase, they haven't even released, I think Blue Beetle was their first DCU movie, but I didn't watch that, and not much people did, because that was a C-list type character, maybe B-list. I'd say C-list though, because I know little to nothing about Blue Beetle. But that Superman movie that they're planning on making and all, that I don't know how long that's going to take, but there's a good chance Marvel could come back by that point, and then they'd be competing with Marvel again. There's a perfect point right now that DC could be taking over, and even if Marvel does get good again, people will like to go to DC because they recognize that DC is good. And that's the really frustrating bit, that DC, if they took their time and stopped rushing it, that they would actually be succeeding. And that's the thing about DC, you can see that they know superheroes, they just don't know the superhero conjoined universe. They don't know how to do an overarching story, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Obviously people like to know have an overarching story where there's all these references and all, but movies can just be movies, and they don't have to be you have to do it watch it for your homework. Joker is a standalone movie and it's brilliant. The Batman is a standalone movie and it's brilliant, but the Batman will probably have its own sequels, but it will be still in its own universe. And I've heard some people saying that Robert Pattinson's Batman should come to the DC universe. Personally, I think that's a mistake. One, I don't know if he would work with other characters, superheroes. Ben Affleck's one did, but Robert Pattinson's might not. He might, but he might not. I wouldn't risk it though, because I wouldn't like to taint one of their only successful brands right now, which is the Batman, specifically Robert Pattinson's one. And people are really excited for his second one, so I really think they should keep that as its own separate franchise and have a new Batman come in. I've heard Jensen Ackles being rumoured, and I think that's a really cool casting. He was brilliant as Soldier Boy, so I really would like to see him as Batman in the new DC universe, and he could work because he does work in The Boys. Well, obviously he's a villain there, so it'll be completely different as Batman. The new Superman movie, I think everyone has high hopes for that, including myself, because they have a good director and it looks like he actually has a good interest in it. It looks like it will be good, and I'm hoping it will be, because Superman has kind of died down in the last few years. Henry Cavill's Superman, although he was good, he was never in a good movie really. His actor, Henry Cavill, was great, but unfortunately you could tell that the Man of Steel was his best movie, and Man of Steel was good, not great. So unfortunately he didn't get time in the limelight. And there was all that mess with Black Adam and all. It was just a complete mess with Henry Cavill. But yeah, that was a very short video. I know it's probably my shortest video yet on my commentary series, but I really do enjoy making these, and this is another short video. If this video does get enough likes and views, I'll obviously make a more in-depth analysis about this. Please consider subscribing to the channel, because I'm trying to make daily commentary videos. Now I know it's been 2 days, but around once or twice a day. No, sorry. in 1 or 2 days, sorry, in 1 or 2 days, I always make a commentary video. At least I'm trying that, and all my commentary videos have been huge successes. My 3 movie like commentary videos, like the one on The Walking Dead, the one on the Marvel, and the one on Amazon Prime. All 3 of them have over 500 views, and there's some of them are still going. The Amazon Prime one has kind of died now, but like the rest of them are still going. So I'm really happy with it, and it's really helping this channel get back on its feet. This was originally just an experimental topic where I was hoping I could get commentary in there, but it would take a long time to grow. But it's starting to like help my channel, because it was suffering over September, and now my channel is starting to grow back, which I'm really happy with, and I can't wait to get to 7,000 subscribers and finally get back on the road to getting 10,000. We did have in 2023 hasn't been the best year for this channel. I will admit that, although it had high peaks, and it was like my channel had peaked in its new viewer base during the summer, and that was only because it wasn't up to my standards. And now the tutorial genre, it's kind of reached its peak, and there's nowhere else to go but down. So yeah, I kind of wanted to move away from that, and I'm really passionate about this commentary. So the one light through the tunnel basically is that this commentary could actually work for me, and 2023 would be when I'm introducing it. So I'm really excited for this, and I'm really happy with the channel. I haven't uploaded Alex9758 or AlexM975 because I've been really passionate, and I also want to work on this channel right now and get my main channel working, and then work on the other channels, because it's better to have the main channel working, and then when I have time to work on the other 2 channels, not to be evening them out, because this is my most important channel, and I'll be honest, this is the one that I'm most passionate about talking about. I am passionate about talking about commentaries over games, but I'm really passionate about talking about movies and TV shows, and obviously the Minecraft tutorials are on Alex9758, and I'm not going to change that topic, at least not for the moment, because I want to keep all the genres kind of spread out. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.